Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into one of the most dangerous and powerful places on Earth, Niagara Falls. You've probably seen it in pictures or videos. A breathtaking curtain of water thundering down with unimaginable force. But have you ever wondered, what would actually happen if you fell into Niagara Falls? Stick around because the answer is way more intense than you might think. And before we start, make sure to subscribe and leave a like so you don't miss our next videos with even crazier what-if scenarios. Alright, imagine standing right at the edge of Niagara Falls. The roar of 3,000 tons of water crashing down every second fills the air. The mist rises like smoke, soaking your clothes and making it hard to see. The current of the Niagara River is deceptively fast. It pulls you toward the edge before you even realize it. And once you're caught in that current, there's no going back. As you're dragged closer, the sound becomes deafening. You can't hear your own screams, can't see more than a few feet ahead. Only the endless white foam and raging water. The drop is about 50 meters, 164 feet. Like falling from a 16-story building. But it's not just the fall that's deadly, it's what's waiting below. Would you survive that? Or would the sheer force of the water crush you before you even hit the bottom? Let's find out. As you go over the edge of Niagara Falls, everything turns into chaos. The sound is replaced by pure noise, a wall of roaring water that drowns out the world. For a brief second, you're weightless, suspended in midair. Then, gravity takes over. You're falling through mist and spray, your stomach lurching as the world becomes a blur of blue and white. The drop lasts only about 2 seconds, but it feels endless. When you hit the water below, it's not like landing in a pool. It's more like hitting concrete. The impact alone could knock you unconscious instantly. And even if you somehow stayed awake, the water beneath the falls isn't calm. It's a violent, spinning vortex of foam, rocks, and pressure. The turbulence is so intense that divers describe it as being inside a washing machine that never stops. The water pressure can easily dislocate joints or break bones. Visibility is near zero. It's completely dark and full of debris. Massive whirlpools form beneath the surface, pulling you down, spinning you around, and slamming you into hidden boulders. Even strong swimmers have no control here. The current decides everything. And remember, this water doesn't stop moving. It rushes forward at nearly 100 kilometers per hour, pushing anything or anyone trapped in it downriver. So even if you survived the fall, you'd still have to survive being tossed through the deadly rapids that follow. Let's look at what actually happens to the human body when it falls into the raging force of Niagara Falls, and how a few unbelievable people manage to live through it. When you hit the base of the falls, the first danger is shock. Your body goes from open air to freezing water. Temperatures often around 10 degrees Celsius or lower. That's enough to send your muscles into instant paralysis, making it almost impossible to move or swim. The sudden cold also causes hyperventilation, and within seconds you could inhale water instead of air. Then comes the physical trauma. The drop is about 57 meters high, roughly the height of a 20-story building. At that speed, you hit the water at over 100 kilometers per hour. The surface tension of water at that velocity acts like a solid wall. Broken ribs, shattered bones, internal bleeding, even without drowning, those injuries alone can be fatal. But the chaos doesn't stop after impact. Beneath the falls lies what's called the plunge pool, a violent mix of bubbles, whirlpools, and unseen rocks. It's dark, it's loud, and it's constantly moving. The turbulence there is so extreme that you could be dragged 15 meters underwater and held there for up to a minute before being thrown back to the surface, if you're lucky. So how could anyone possibly survive? Believe it or not, the first recorded survivor was Annie Edson Taylor in 1901, a 63-year-old schoolteacher who went over the Horseshoe Falls inside a custom-made barrel. The barrel was padded, sealed, and waited for balance. She was bruised and shaken but alive. Others, like stuntmen and daredevils, followed in her footsteps, using reinforced capsules or air-cushioned barrels designed to absorb the shock. But there are also modern stories, people who fell accidentally. In 2003, a man survived after jumping from the Horseshoe Falls without any protection. He was pulled out by rescuers downstream, badly injured but breathing. Scientists think the aeration of the water, millions of tiny bubbles, helped reduce the impact slightly, acting like a cushion. Still, survival is close to impossible. The odds are less than 1%, and for every miracle there are countless tragedies. Imagine standing right at the edge. The roar of 3,000 tons of water crashing down every second fills your ears until it's all you can hear, like the world itself is trembling. The mist soaks your face, blurs your vision, and the wind pushes against you with surprising strength. Then suddenly your foot slips. You don't even have time to scream. Gravity takes over, and your stomach rises into your throat. The view flips. Sky, mist, rock, water. Everything spinning into a blur. The sound grows louder, so loud it becomes a kind of silence, a vacuum inside your head. For about 3 seconds, you're weightless, surrounded by nothing but air and chaos. Then impact. It's not like diving into water. It's like hitting concrete. The force drives the air from your lungs. Cracks shoot through your body like lightning. Pain flashes, but it's gone almost instantly, replaced by confusion and instinct. You're underwater, but which way is up? It's black. Not the calm darkness of a lake, but a storm of bubbles and debris. The current grabs you. It twists your body, flips you upside down, slams you against something hard. Maybe a rock, maybe another wave. You try to swim, but the water moves faster than you ever could. Every breath you try to take is just more water. Your ears ache from the pressure, your chest burns, and for a few endless seconds, there's no control, no sound, no light, only motion. If you're incredibly lucky, a pocket of air pushes you upward. You burst through the surface, coughing, gasping, barely able to see through the mist. You're still inside the whirlpool zone. The churning water keeps dragging you back. The current here can spin objects for hours before releasing them downstream. And even if you survive that, there's the cold. Within minutes, hypothermia sets in. Your body begins to shut down, muscles stiffen, thoughts blur. Every movement becomes slower, heavier. The only hope is that someone spots you, a tourist, a rescuer, before the current carries you further down the Niagara River. Most who fall never come back up alive. Yet every survivor describes the same thing. A moment of surreal calm, just before losing consciousness, as if time itself slows down beneath the falls. Eventually, after endless minutes of chaos, the current begins to slow. You're carried downstream, away from the violent base of the falls. The sound starts to fade, from thunder to a distant roar, and for the first time you can almost breathe. But you're exhausted, freezing, and still fighting the water that refuses to let go. Rescue teams on shore scan the river constantly. They know how unpredictable Niagara is. Every second counts. They throw out ropes, send boats, even helicopters if needed. And if they find you, the hardest part begins. pulling a body out of a current that's stronger than any storm. When you finally reach land, the world feels different. The noise is gone, replaced by the hum of life returning to your ears. You're wrapped in blankets, surrounded by people, lights, voices. It feels unreal, as if you've crossed between two worlds, one of water and death, and one of fragile, breathless life. You look back at the falls, that endless white wall of power, and realize just how small you are against nature's force. So, what if you fell into Niagara Falls? The truth is, it's one of the few experiences you wouldn't live to describe, a reminder of how awe-inspiring and merciless nature can be. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notifications so you don't miss the next deep dive into the world's most fascinating what-if scenarios. See you next time.